Hello, Nesty Besties. Hello. Welcome to Saturday in the Nest. How is everyone doing? I'm so happy to see all of you here today. Woo! So, just a quick note about the pageant that will be this evening. I'm thinking about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just have a few things to take care of today, and then we will have the pageant tonight. So I hope you're looking forward to it. I definitely am. We have a lot of really good submissions, about 30, and I can't even tell you. Almost every time I opened an email and looked at the submission, I would just laugh like out loud, like, oh my God, it's so creative. So creative. And we will be having, just so you know, we will be having 2 categories. One will be artificially intelligent created material, content, bird, right? The other category will be human intelligence created contestants, because I don't think that it's fair for them to compete against each other. So human versus computer, essentially. There will be a winner for both categories. Yeah. Hey, Mrs. Marple, nice to see you. All right. So, we're for your yellow now. Woohoo! Nice. Okay, so let's see. Mrs. Jones has been a Nesty Bestie for 6 months. That is the yellow owl. So happy to be catching alive, says Mrs. Jones. So happy you're here with us. Rosebud has been a Nesty Bestie for 5 months, wishing everyone a great day. Wonderful. Thank you, Rosebud. And Canny K has been an owlette for a month. Good morning, AYS, and all of the beautiful owlettes. And same to you, Canny K. Canny K has a very sophisticated contestant. Yep. They're all so unique. It's awesome. I'm glad we're doing this, because it's fun, but wait till you see all of them. It's really something. So, Mrs. Marple, hey, I keep a lookout. If you say that you're new, if you say you're coming out from lurking, I really try to keep a close eye on the chat. I definitely miss a lot because I have multiple consoles, there's multiple things going on here, so sometimes I do miss things in the chat, but I always try to keep an eye out for new people and make sure that they feel welcomed. So welcome. And SCL Sigma is here also. Hello. Lappa Oh Yikes. Oh, another member of the Yikes family? Oh my goodness. Welcome. Wiener Wagon. Nice. Okay. And Patricia Thomas Pondu. That's a good name. Patricia Thomas Pondu, welcome to being an owlette. Welcome. Yeah. Welcome, Patricia Thomas. Oh, it's Lisa. Lisa. I thought your picture looked familiar, but, okay, Lisa, nice to see you. Yeah, especially when people get gifted memberships and, if they want to stay on, but they don't remember to renew, sometimes that happens, but no worries. All right, you finally have a Saturday off, Trauma Queen? Good, I'm glad. Boo Squeezy says, Foodie's channel is dying. Love that for her. I love that. How she's reacting to her channel dying. I think it's very entertaining. Gonzo Duke, La Flor y la Crema. Oh, nice. Moni JV's in the nest today. We got Mayfei, Lappa Oh Yikes, Jensha Hater, Green Sparkles. Got Jensha has her coffee and ready for some tea. Oh, I like that. Yes. Is the tea hot? I think so. Yeah. Pinkies are definitely in the air. I can tell you that. And if you are a member, be sure to check out your emojis and put your pinky in the air for this particular rant. It's coming. Kato Couch Potato. Yuck it up. How's that going? Sachi Bell's in the nest, Mrs. Jones. I totally get it, Mrs. Jones. And I really felt like it wasn't fair to, have the 2 categories compete against one another because they're very, very different. So anyone who did use their human intelligence to to submit a contestant, I can tell you that you have less competition, so you have more of a chance to win. So, yeah. We got Crystal Hankmeyer, hello, Azalea, Megan 8, Leonie Mac, Aluminum Brain, Over Fear is here, Anna Gags, Catnip Made Me Do It, Barbie C. Oh, I will Barbie C, no worries. I'll tell her how it is. Listen, Fair Use and I, we're intimate. We're very intimate at this point in our YouTube history. Extremely intimate. We've been through it all together. We really have. So, yeah. Hey, Ham and Beans, Knee Manners in the Nest, Jonathan Rutherford Galt Esquire. Oh, you're on the bike? Nice. Irving Transplants here. Yeah. Okay, just Jamie's in the nest, of course. Sorry if I've missed anyone. Undoubtedly, I did. It's certainly not intentional. Please don't take it as such. And let's take a look. Hey, M. Mercino. We got Tiny Walnut in the nest. Moni JV's here. I know you're tired of me calling out names. It's going to be over in a second. Madonna Knowles. Hey. Okay. Nightbot, welcome. How's it going? Okay, Kelly Loomis. You saw that intimate leaked photo of me in Fair Use? Is it being sold? Fair Use sometimes does me dirty. Sometimes. Little revenge going on sometimes. Sometimes, yeah. Oh yeah, the pageant's going to be great. So if you're just coming in, it is going to be tonight. I still have some stuff to do today. And I didn't want to set a watch page with a definitive time and then have to change the time on you, because I know that can get a little annoying. So, but I did make a community tab post just letting you know that it will be tonight, not to worry. All right. So let's take a look, shall we? I didn't even see her post this video last night. I didn't even get a notification, which also says kind of a lot, Chantal. That says kind of a lot about the health of your channel in general. Like, oh, nice, Crystal. I'm so glad I pronounced your last name without hesitation. I'm glad. That's awesome. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you very much. And do you know what I think of you? Do you know?
What do you think you are, la crème de la crème?
Absolutely. Yes, I do. Yes, I do think Crystal is la crème de la crème. I do. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, Pasera. Coming out of lurking. I love it. Yes. Okay. Oh, yeah, Smugtal. Smugtal talking about, laws and doctrines. Please. Ma'am, stick to what you know. Chicken pot pie and fruit juice. You're going to make some veggie egg rolls. Oh, nice. Dying Duckfit. Oh, Dying Duckfit has a great submission. Also competing tonight. Oh, yeah. Creme de la creme. You laughed out loud on the street. Good. Yeah. La creme de la creme. Okay. So, let's take a look at Chantal. Try to explain to us how fair use works. It's really something. Even the things she puts on the screen don't make sense. So let's get started.
All right, so I want to talk about something that is affecting me and my channel. I haven't really realized it fully until recently. But if after I explain it, it doesn't make sense to you, or you don't agree that what is happening is not fair whatsoever, I don't know what else to tell you or how to explain it another way. I'm talking about reaction channels gone too far. Now, I have complained about reaction channels many, many times, especially the ones that are just pure hate channels. Mostly about hypocrisy and bullying. But now there is another big issue I would like to address. It's content theft.
Theft. Excellent point, Ms. Mac. Ms. Mac is also a contestant tonight. Did she get permission to use those visuals? They might be copyrighted. Excellent point. Where did she lift this image from? Because I saw it on a couple different websites. Where did you get it from, Chantal? Did you ask the owner, who probably made this image themselves, if you could use it? Did you? Did you get permission? Or did you steal it?
Whichever way you try to excuse it, there is a whole community of content leeches that literally steal my content. And honestly, this is why I no longer want to put any effort into my content. If I do mukbangs...
Wait a minute, whoa. That's the reason you're not putting effort into your content? That's the reason? Because it just gets stolen anyway? Really? You know, I'm not buying it. No, I'm not buying it.
Most things I do in life are just half-assed. And you know what? At least it's something.
At least it's something, right? No, that is your attitude. Why don't you be honest about why you don't put any effort into your content? Because most of the things you do are half-assed.
Most things I do in life are just half-assed. And you know what? At least it's something.
At least it's something you're putting up, right? And then there was this little gem.
I really should have tried harder to make better content. But you know what? Then I think I'm right where I need to be, honestly.
Yeah, really should have tried making better content. But you know what? At least I'm where I need to be. And you know what? At least I'm not.
At least I'm not getting wasted.
At least she's not getting wasted. She might not be putting any effort into her content, but exactly, Mrs. Jones, at least she's not getting wasted. We should be happy about that. Right? Right. So she's trying to say that the reason she doesn't put effort into her content is because it gets stolen. Well, I clearly have sound clips of you stating that that's just you. You don't put effort into anything. That's just your personality, period.
Honestly, this is why I no longer want to put any effort into my content. If I do mukbangs, not much effort is there, sure. But if I bother to go out and vlog and try and get creative with my videos, thousands of views are stolen from reaction channels. And this is no exaggeration. About at least a dozen channels take my entire video for their own content and restream it or stream snipe it the minute I go live. And they'd steal the video in its entirety or make a video using the entire video and make small comments here and there about petty little things, mostly bullying and body shaming, such as how I walk.
Guess what, Chantal? You know, this is covered under fair use. I know you don't want to believe it, and we will take a close look at the doctrine. That is actually covered. So,
how fat I look. There's literally a reaction channel whose content is to slow down shots of me walking to laugh at me. So things like that, if I'm using filters, etc., etc. I could go live and I will have, let's say, maybe 500 views. If someone, a bigger reaction channel who usually gets more views will go live, my views will drop down to the 300s. This is not fair use. This is what fair use should.
Guess what, dearest Chantal? I almost feel bad for you sometimes. I almost do feel bad for you sometimes. You know, and a lot of creators, for some reason, don't look at YouTube's guidelines, rules, and terms of service. They think they know it, but really, you know, just go read it. Just go check it out yourself and see what it actually says. It's not up to you, Chantal, to decide what is fair use and what is not. Thank God. Thank God for that.
Read it very well, using small amounts of the content and not taking away from the original creator. Reactors themselves have been reported gleefully bragging about how they purposely take away views and not to watch my content on my channel and to watch it on theirs. This is theft. This is wrong, and it's come to a point where it's no longer worth it for me to put any effort into making content just for reaction channels. People argue that they wouldn't watch me anyway. Well, that's not true, because you go to another channel to watch my content. Throwing petty
You're either being deliberately obtuse, you're either being deliberately obtuse, or you're truly in denial. People don't want to watch your channel because they don't want you to have the revenue, the ad revenue from their watch. That is why they go to reaction channels to watch you. Yes, they do want to watch you. They do, but not on your channel. There's a reason for that.
remarks and insults every few minutes is not transformative in any way.
Again, it's not up to you to determine that at all.
You are certainly not making my content any different. There's no transformation happening
I'm transforming it right now, bitch.
to my work. Furthermore, how is it okay for a reactor to have an entire channel based on one individual only? And I'm sure reactors will say, I'm crying over people taking my content. Yeah, I am. Just like the YouTube underground went on a rampage hypocritically when people used a tiny amount of her content and
Why are you okay? You're so petty, Chantal. You're petty and you're very insecure. Your insecurity just reeks out of this video, out of most videos that you upload or stream anyway. But this one reeks insecurity. You feel that you don't know what you're talking about, which is correct. You don't. And you're just kind of grasping. You're just trying to vent like in a non-angry way, I guess, whatever, in a controlled way. And you feel so insecure with your feelings about this and your research in this that you actually reference a reaction channel to back up what you're saying.
use the copyright system over and over and over. Now, I can't copyright strike because I simply cannot afford to take every one of these reactors to court and pursue any of this, nor do I wish to spend my time fighting something that big. But no matter how you spin it, it's not fair use to use a creator's entire work when it takes views away from the original creator.
You know what? Cry about it more, because if someone can take your content and make it more entertaining, more appealing, more anything more than what it is, then you don't deserve those views. You don't. You don't. That's why we get the views and why you don't. That's very simple. It's your quality of content. Catnip made me do it. The visual is from 1994, before YouTube existed.
I love you, Chantal.
Welcome, Teresa. Come on into the nest. Yeah. 1994. Interesting. Thank you very much, Catnip.
What do you think you are, la crème de la crème?
Catnip, do you think you're la crème de la crème? I think so. Thank you so much. Oh.
Period. And yes, I can prove that. And I just have talked about that, what happens when somebody goes live the minute I go live.
Well, you know, stream sniping is a totally different issue, Chantal, and you really should address that separately, in my opinion. That is a totally different issue. It is. I mean, I don't know if you've looked into that, but you might want to keep your topic separate when you're talking about fair use. Hey, Snugglepuss, how's it going? Skylar Myers says it's transformative. As it makes me laugh. She doesn't make us laugh. She's not funny at all. At all. This is Morris Reed. She did it too much in the past, and YouTube won't take her seriously now. That is the thing about constantly reporting videos and channels. At some point, I believe that YouTube just, puts you on ignore. Okay. You know, not everything is reportable, but if you submit a rare report every once in a while and you do it from a computer where you can actually list timestamps and your reasoning, they might be more apt to listen to it. But the way that Chantal reports videos is on her phone, of course, right? I don't even know if she has a laptop. I don't think so. She does it on her phone and report whatever, bullying. They don't even look at those, Chantal. I don't know if you're aware of that. It just makes you feel good to be able to do that. But if you actually sit down and get the timestamps of what is being said, so the person or AI reviewing it can go directly to that timestamp of a 3-hour live stream, for example, and see what is the bullying content and see exactly what you're talking about. Only then will it be looked at. But these like generic reports don't do anything at all.
And therefore, honestly, I don't feel motivated at all to share my life, nor to put in any effort into any content I do.
Okay, Chantal. Is that why? Hey, Spooky Von Sweets, I hope you're doing well. Boo Squeezy says Kuwait Art killed their channel. She told people who didn't want to see mukbangs or salah to go to other channels, and they did. Yes, exactly. Yeah, good excuse, right? And we know that this is not the case. That's not the reason.
Most things I do in life are just half-assed, and you know what? If at least it's something.
At least it's something. My half-assed content.
I really should have tried harder to make better content, but you know what? Then I think I'm right where I need to be, honestly.
I should have tried harder to make better content. But I'm fine with it. I'm good with mediocre. I really am. But, at least...
At least I'm not getting wasted.
So, so that's a thing. I put in no effort, but I want all the views. Right. I mean, she's beyond boring. Nobody laughs over at your channel, Chantal. Snugglepuss, we don't wish for that here, and that is not what my channel is about. I don't believe in cow tipping in the first place, and certainly not involving authorities taking resources away from people who actually need it.
It's just how it is. I will just sit and eat and do mukbangs and do gaming streams on YouTube and try to do some streams on TikTok here and there, mostly battles and content where I can play some music. If these
Have you guys seen those battles on TikTok? Oh my God. I don't even know what's going on over there. I'm not a TikToker. I'm not on there. I don't understand what the battles are. I don't even get what are they battling? How do they battle? I don't even know. I guess people send them gifts and it's like a competition of who can get more gifts or something. I really don't know. But I saw a little bit of video of her. I saw it on Unicorn Pondu. Unicorn Pondu uploaded something. So you can see her against like these younger ladies who are very cute, and they're acting very TikTok-y, someone like in their 20s, right? And then you have Chantal there looking like a great-grandmother, all covered up, like, and her cheek is like blown all the way out, and it's just, what is even going on? Delulu, she should worry about becoming homeless before the end of 2024. We know Poopy won't stick around once the funds dry up. Update that resume, Chantal. I mean, what is she going to put on there? The French fry place that she worked at when she was a teenager? Mm-hmm.
What do you think you are, la crème de la crème?
Absolutely. Yeah, I do think Delulu is la crème de la crème. I do, actually. I do. Thank you.
Channels were not using 100% of my content. A lot of people would watch on my channel. They would be curious, at least. And not all, but many more would be forced to, because no matter what you admit to it or not, whether you admit to it or not, those who watch on reaction channels are still interested to some degree to watch my content, which is why those channels exist at all in the first place.
That should really tell you something, Chantal. It really should tell you something. If your uploaded videos, if your live streams don't get many views and you're just doing you and that is the content that you uploaded, which you admitted is half-assed. You admitted that yourself. You admitted that you probably should have made better content, but that you're satisfied with it. And other channels take that and transform it into something completely different, and for different reasons, and different products come out of it. If you compare reaction channels, neither one of us could say that the other's channel, that the other's video is just like ours. They're all different. And they're all different from yours, Chantal. And that is called transformative. And people will come to watch the transformed material because the original material sucks. And I'm sorry, you're just going to have to face that. That's just the truth. So, Mrs. Jones just gifted 5 Are You Serious memberships. Thank you, Mrs. Jones. Woohoo! Thank you, Mrs. Jones. And Snugglepuss received one. Just Jenny got one. Oceana Song and Rebel received memberships. And Spooky Von Sweets got one too. Yahoo! Everybody please give a shout out to Mrs. Jones for helping the nest to grow. Wonderful. Yeah! Nice.
It's sad that it has come to this, but reaction channels have gone too far with their lazy stealing content.
Lazy.
And I am no longer going to do any vlogs or content outside of the mukbangs and gaming streams. I will talk to
Lazy. Chantal, what you have on the screen here, this is just a screenshot that you took from Google. You didn't even go to that website that your resources. You didn't even click on that link. You highlighted a section of it and took a screenshot. This is what you have to. Do you even read it? Did you even look up this case, Campbell versus 8 Cuff Rose Music? I did. Did you? Did you look into it? How am I lazy? And how are you not?
you guys on the gaming streams, but not the talking I do on my regular streams. If you were working for free, I'm sure you wouldn't feel like it much either. I put myself out there, I put in the editing effort, and for someone to just not even camp.
The editing effort? What? The editing effort? Oh, wow. That's good. That's a good one, Chantal. Now you're trying to make us laugh, right? Now you're injecting the humor. Nice.
Up and show themselves and just take my entire content and then use it to bully me? No thanks. And make more money? No thanks. It's ridiculous that YouTube allows this to occur, but to be honest, I know I talk a big game about reporting them to YouTube, but lately I just haven't had the mental health to sit and go through their channels and send timestamps and watch their content for hours and hours.
Well, maybe your Beezers could do that for you. Usually these lolcows have like a legion of people who will do all that dirty work for them. So maybe you could have one of them do it, Chantal. Do you think anyone would be willing to do that for you? Just Jamie says her regular viewers are not happy and let her know in the comments of the sushi mukbangs. She's punishing them to spite reaction channels and haters. She is absolutely killing her own channel and it's her own fault. Thank you, Just Jamie.
What do you think you are, la crème de la crème?
Actually, yeah, I do think Just Jamie is la crème de la crème. I do. Thank you very much. Hey, juror number 6.
Hours of abuse. I actually have done this once or twice in the past, but not lately. I feel like YouTube 100% doesn't give a shit. So why should I?
Why are you talking about your employer like that on your employer's, what are you doing, Chantal? You said that YouTube is your employer, right? Right? Sansa Cooks, welcome, has been an owlet for 6 months. And she says, funny, there are no pro foodie reactors. That is a good point. And if there were, they've probably been bullied off of the platform. Well, except for the child that's in her chat. The child that's in her chat does stand up for her a lot. So, good point. Yep.
I would love to make nice vlogs for you guys. I would love to, but not if I put in the effort to do the content, and some lazy reaction channels who don't even bother to get on camera just replay my entire content.
Wow. So you have 102,000 subscribers who are subscribed to you for one reason or another. There could be different reasons, believe me, because I have to be subscribed to you, so I can get notifications, but I didn't even get one for this one. And you have Beezers who actually pay a monthly fee for the privilege of being green in your chat and using your lame emojis. Lame. Chantal, take a look at my membership perks and take a look at the emojis that I offer to my members. And, a lot of them are centered around you because you are kind of a joke. You are. Yeah. And you know what? You have 102,000 subscribers, you have paying members, and you are flat out telling them that you don't intend to put in effort in your content. What do you think is going to be the result of that, Chantal? Why would they come back to watch your videos? Did you think this through? I don't think so. I don't think you did. Oh, no, I don't think you did. You're going to have only reaction channels as your viewers. Do you understand that? If you're telling your regular viewers that you don't intend to do anything for them at all, you should have thought about this a little bit more. Should have. Sachi Bell says the only reactors she gets support are in her ear trying to stir things. I lost your comment. Oh, okay. It went away. All right. The only ones that stay are the ones that have an unhealthy level of parasocial relationship going on. That is absolutely true, Jen, for sure. Yep. She's got a lot of people that are housebound or bedbound. And for some reason, they haven't yet seen what Chantal is all about. I don't know. Yeah.
Sorry, but fuck no. Fuck no.
What was that?
Nope.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. This video should go on limited ads because of your language, miss.
Too, but not if I put in the effort to do the content, and some lazy reaction channels who don't even bother to get on camera just replay my entire content. Sorry, but fuck no. Fuck no. No more. I've fed these losers and their kids for way too long, and I am done. Anyways, guys, that is what you can expect from now on. See you.
Oh my goodness. That ended so quickly. I'm Muslim myself, and just because someone curses, that isn't a reflection of how religious they are or how much of a believer they are. So we try to refrain from that kind of talk. I'm Muslim myself, so picture yourself saying that directly to me and ask if I'd be offended. And I don't care if Chantal is offended, but Muslims around you that are seeing that will think a way about it. I'm just letting you know. Anonymity is not laziness, it's called privacy. Exactly, Sansa Cooks, exactly. Maybe she's okay with people tracking her down and doing who knows what to her. I'm not. So, okay, so she ended that very abruptly. And then she says, and that was ended at about 6 minutes, 30 seconds. And the video is 8 minutes, 14 seconds. At the 8-minute mark is when you can put in mid-roll ads. You can put in mid-roll advertisements. So she's saying that she's doing that in order to do that. Kato Couch Potato has been a Nesty Bestie for 6 months and is also a contestant in this evening's pageant. It's not over, it's silence, and that image is ad money. And that image for ad money. It's silence and that image for ad money. Okay. Oh, it's definitely not over. Oh, the video, you mean? Oh. I was thinking like in general. Yeah. She just like leaves this up. Yeah. But that is the end of the video. You just get the last bit of it.
Some lazy reaction channels who don't even bother to get on camera just replay my entire content. Sorry, but fuck no. Fuck no. No more. I've fed these losers and their kids for way too long, and I am done. Anyways, guys, that is what you can expect from now on. See you.
Okay. I see. That's cute, Chantal. That's very cute. All right, so why don't we take a look at, this is especially helpful for creators if you are receiving copyright strikes, if you don't feel that they're founded, or sometimes channels will receive copyright strikes thinking that they shouldn't, when in fact they are eligible for one. Let's put it that way. Hey, Jen Wall, always bringing people's kids into the argument. She clearly has issues. Imagine being a paying member on her channel. No, I cannot. I cannot imagine. No. Oh, hey, Sunny Days. I left a community tab post, so it'll be this evening. Like, I'm thinking like 8, 9 p.m. Eastern time. I have some stuff to do today, so I'm not sure exactly what time. So I didn't want to make a watch page and then, like, change the time on you, because that can be annoying. So Yeah, it'll be this evening for sure. It's going to be great. There's so many contestants. It's awesome, including Sunny Days. All right, so, I don't know what this thing is that she brought up on her, this image that she brought up on her. She left it on the screen the whole time, and that wasn't even, whatever. Whatever. It literally said transformative use after, next to the photo. It didn't even say fair use. So she has no idea what's going on. Okay, so this is the U.S. Copyright Office Fair Use Index. Laws are different across the world. She needs to look into the laws in Canada. And, okay, so there are only 4 factors of fair use. There are only 4. This is copyright.gov/fair-use if you want to find it yourself. It's a very easy link. So, there are 4 factors of fair use. It can get a little bit involved, okay? But the important thing to know is that, let me just actually leave it on this page so you can have something to look at.
I love you, Chantal.
Who's that? Who's that coming in? La la lani, la la lani. Come on in, la la lani. All right. There we go. Oh, 1 second. Oh. There we go. Okay.
I love you, Chantal.
Justice for Harry and Julia. Teaspoon, welcome to the nest. Come on in. Come on in and join us. All right. So, there are 4 factors of fair use. And by the way, none of them can be determined by YouTube. YouTube will simply follow through with a copyright takedown request if you're able to show to the minimum degree, a very minimum degree, that you own the copyright for the content, that you own it, you're the creator, and that you have not provided copyright access, or you haven't provided someone else with the rights to be able to put it on their channel. So they have a very low threshold for proof because they are not the people who actually in the end decide whether or not it's fair use. They're not the ones. So some people get really up in hands about YouTube, but it's not even up to them. It's not. It's up to a court. It's up to a court. And that's why when you receive, when you issue a copyright takedown request or a strike, you have a choice. You can do either one. You have to be willing to follow through with it through the courts. If you doubt that you own the content in its entirety, you probably shouldn't go ahead and do that. Catnip made me do it. Just gifted 5 Are You Serious memberships. Thank you, Catnip. Thank you very much. Woohoo! And Lynn received 1. Leonie Mac, Susie Q, 1964, Waldo's World, and Dang got memberships. Everyone, please give a shout out to Catnip Made Me Do It for the free memberships. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you are enjoying today's stream, please be sure to hit the like button, by the way. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you. Well, let's just look at a quick video. Let's do that. I got the YouTube creators channel. And because I don't know if you guys are going to really be into me reading to you, but you do need to know some of it. You do. And I will go through for sure. Imagine if I got a copyright strike for showing YouTube's video. They'd be like, did you have permission? Okay, we'll just play it like this then.
Hi, I'm Sari, here to answer your copyright questions. Today's topic is fair use. First, what is fair use? Fair use allows you to reuse copyright-protected material under certain circumstances without getting permission from the copyright owner. Fair use is an exception to copyright law and is not determined by YouTube. Let me say that again. YouTube does not decide what is fair use and what isn't. Only
Did you hear that? Chantal, did you hear that? So when you get all up in arms about your employer, that you call them your employer, you're not employed by YouTube, by the way. You don't work at Google in California. You don't. You're an independent contractor like the rest of us. Okay? Please. They don't decide. They're not a court. They don't make the ruling. They don't.
Only the court can do that. What counts as fair use? Different countries have different rules about when it's okay to use material without the copyright owner's permission. In some countries, it's not even called fair use. For example, in the UK, it's referred to as fair dealing. Aside from what your country calls it, courts usually focus on whether your use of another person's song or video is transformative. Basically, they're asking if you added new expression or meaning to the original work, or if it basically copies the original. For example, in the US, content that might be considered fair use includes commentary, criticism, or news reporting. Also, keep in mind that just because you say something's fair use, give credit to the copyright owner, or add a disclaimer like no infringement intended, it does not mean that you're protected.
Exactly. That is so important. That is so important because some people do think, and I'm not talking about reaction channels, I'm talking about people who, I recently had a video legit downloaded and re-uploaded to another channel. 0 changes made. And YouTube does have different tools to alert creators if that's happening to their content. And I got an alert. And it was literally minute 000 to the end of the video with nothing in between at all. They even kept my logos in there and my introduction, everything. So I took it down. So saying that it's fair use, copying and pasting the doctrine someplace in your description or putting it up on the screen does not protect you. It does not. Adding a disclaimer doesn't protect you. Linking the channel doesn't protect you. None of that. There's no set time frame like, oh, well, if I use less than 30 seconds, it's okay. That doesn't exist. So there's a lot of misinformation out there, but YouTube does provide the actual information.
How is fair use determined by law? Determining fair use is never a cut and dry process. In the US, fair use can only be determined in court by a judge. The judge will look at your case overall based on a few different factors. Here are a few things to keep in mind based on what the courts look at. You're less likely to qualify for fair use if your video merely copies someone else's and adds nothing else, if you're trying to monetize your video, if you're using fictional copyrighted material rather than factual material, if you borrowed a large amount of material rather than a small portion, if the main focus of your video is the copyright protected material, or if your use of the material harms the copyright owner's ability to profit from their original work. So, all of these are helpful factors to consider when thinking about fair use.
But again, this is determined by the courts, and these are what is considered to see if it is, where are you? Here you go. So all of these are considered, but you don't have to meet all of these. It's what's taken into consideration when it's considered whether or not your video is considered fair use. Consider.
So, all of these are helpful factors to consider when thinking about fair use. But also keep in mind, there is no guarantee that you'll qualify for fair use just because you take these factors into account. For example, just because you don't monetize your video, or if you only use a small portion of the copyrighted material, that does not mean you automatically qualify for fair use. Again, the courts look at everything holistically, and there's always a risk involved when using someone else's copyrighted work. Think carefully about all of these factors and get legal advice if needed. Companies are claiming just a few seconds of a video. How is that not abuse? One of the biggest myths about fair use is that there's a minimum amount of time you're allowed to use someone else's copyrighted work. But despite what some people may think, there is no duration which you can use someone else's content that is automatically protected under fair use. In fact, courts have rejected fair use arguments for songs that only sample a few seconds of someone else's work. So if you're using any amount of content that you don't own, even a few seconds, you're taking a risk of receiving a claim or a takedown. You have the right to argue fair use, but only courts, not YouTube, can ultimately decide whether the use of someone else's content is protected under fair use. Because of this, our approach has been to empower creators to remove claimed content whenever possible if they feel that it isn't adding significant value to their video. That's why we've built tools to help you easily identify the content being claimed in your video and remove or swap out claimed music with copyright-safe tracks from the free YouTube audio library. We're also now requiring claimants to add timestamps to these claims so you know exactly which piece of your video is being claimed. We've also updated our editing tools so that when you remove the content manually claimed in your video, the claim is automatically released, restoring monetization to your video if you were previously monetizing.
Now, if you've been in my members only chats, you know that the time before the last one, we tried to play some copyrighted music because I thought we were on members only. It would be fun. We like to, mix it up a little bit and, dance a little bit. But my stream was taken down. I got warning saying that and we were on members only. No one could even see it. No one could even see it except the members. And I got a warning saying it's like, you are streaming content that doesn't belong to you, essentially. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is this, right? And I just kept it going for a couple minutes. And I'm like, well, let's stop for a little while. And let's try another song. And I got it again. And the whole stream was taken down. And the viewers got a message on their screen saying stream suspended for copyright. I was like, oh. And someone who had been through it before was like, it's going to take 5 minutes, but it's going to come back up. So we just waited. And I'm like, okay, I guess no more music. No more music. So, and also there will be times when we're live together and I might play something that I didn't yet test before the live stream and I will get a copyright claim on it. And it can even be, like she said, 10, 20 seconds. But if it is identified and a copyright claim is put against it, they have a right to say, we can share the revenue. It can be both of us that take the money from it, whatever's earned, including super chats, by the way. They want to claim all of the revenue. And I mean, it can be a 4-hour live stream and you played a 10-second clip. They're getting all of it. Or, and I've had this happen to me before too, where the copyright holder said that they didn't want it even viewable on my channel. So there was nothing I could do to even get the video to go back up. I had to download it, edit the whole part out, and re-upload it. So if you're watching live and you come back to watch a replay because you missed some of it and you're like, hey, what happened to that? That's usually what the deal is. But YouTube has these new tools, maybe within the past year or so, that have been really helpful. If you do have a copyrighted song or something that sometimes something will just be in the background, but it gets claimed and you don't even really notice it. They will give you the option. You can mute it out. You can clip out the whole section. And like she says, that immediately releases the claim and it's all set. So.
Why does my content, which is clearly fair use, keep getting claimed by Content ID? Automated systems like Content ID can't determine fair use, which is a subjective case-by-case decision that can only be made by a court. While YouTube can't arbitrate fair use disputes and automated systems like Content ID can account for fair use, this doesn't mean that fair use can't exist on YouTube. If you're a creator, you should avoid relying on fair use unless you understand how the rules work and you're prepared to defend your position through the Content ID dispute process and potentially the counter notification process. This forces the claimant to withdraw or to file a lawsuit. This isn't a decision that should be taken lightly or without legal advice, but it is the most powerful step you can take if you want to pursue a fair use defense and will force the most thoughtful review from the claimant. And that's it for fair use. Check out more info in our Help Center, linked in the description below, and be sure to check out the other videos in our copyright series, linked here.
Thanks. That was so helpful. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So let me get back up the U.S. Copyright Office, and we will go through that a little bit. Okay. Yikes, it's a dirt merchant. Thanks for renewing your membership. I know there's going to be an issue with Chantal submitting copyright claims and people not disputing them as fair use since you have to give up your docs to dispute. There are ways around that. And some people actually think that copyright claims are submitted to get someone's information. And I'm sure people have done that. But if you're a pretty good sized channel, if you've been doing this for a while and you intend to do this for a while, you can get a registered agent. And it's like $100 a year. You get yourself registered with your state as a company, like an LLC or something. That's also very cheap, but it's state by state. You just fill out an application. You hire a registered agent, and that can be an attorney's office. It can be and they list themselves as agents, registered agents that you can just call up and like they'll ask you for your credit card information, your name, address, okay. And they are now your registered agent. It's not like you are entering into an agreement with an attorney as far as like, oh, I need to put a retainer down in case I get sued. That's not what this is. This is just someone who's going to receive your mail. If you get something in the mail, if someone does sue you, you will get it. They will receive it, not you. It doesn't go to your address. And when you are filling out these copyright forms to claim something, you put their information. They still know that it's your channel, but they don't have your information. It doesn't cost much. Like I said, if you're like a one-off, like you upload like every once in a while, just little clips here and there, it's probably not worth it to do that. Just be really careful about how you're doing it, uploading. But if you've been here for a while, you intend to be here, it's there's no reason not to, in my opinion, because you do have people like Chantal and worse than Chantal that will use your information against you for sure. So. Sunny Day says Chantal will continue to pitch a fit because she simply doesn't like the rules and can't believe they could be anything other than what she thinks they should be. Of course. Of course. Of course. So, here we go. All right. So, this is the Fair Use Doctrine is Section 107 of the Copyright Act. So this is an entire act, okay? And we're just looking at Section 107. This is what really we are concerned with. So fair use is a legal doctrine in the United States of America, okay? Canada, you've got your own rules. I think someone posted them in the chat a little bit earlier. Chantal, you should look into that since you're a Canadian creator. Promotes the freedom of expression by permitting the unlicensed use, meaning I don't have to pay Chantal for a license to use her content, of copyright protected works in certain circumstances. So Section 107 provides the statutory framework for determining whether something is a fair use and identifies certain types of fair use. For example, criticism. I would say that's the majority of the reaction channels. We have a birthday in the chat. Oh, Vicky, it's your 69th birthday? Oh my goodness. Happy birthday, Vicky. Oh my gosh. Let me get your birthday cake. Do you want Salah to sing to you? Or do you just want us? It's up to you, whichever you want. It's Vicky's birthday. Yeah. Vicky. Vickie, I think. Yeah. Okay. Happy birthday, Vicky. This is for you, Vicky. Happy birthday. Woohoo! All right, that's enough, Salah. Put your keyboard away. Happy birthday, Vicky. Happy birthday. And may you have many, many, many more healthy, prosperous, and fulfilling birthdays in the future. Awesome. Thanks for letting us know. It's your birthday. Aw, you're our favorite family, Vicky. All right. So, I know, back to fair use. It can be a little much for some people, but it is important to know when you are dealing with people like Chantal who are going to try to claim your videos so that, for whatever reason, she can have them taken down. She can claim your revenue. And especially if you are a new creator and you haven't had to deal with this yet, it's important to learn it so that you do have something to fire back with 100%. Oh, One-Eyed Flo. Oh my God, Vicky just got a gifted membership from One-Eyed Flo. Happy birthday, Vicky. Wow. Awesome. One-Eyed Flo just gifted 5 Are You Serious memberships. Thank you, One-Eyed Flo. Too funny. Vicky got one. Dying Duckfit received one. Pigeon the Fox got one. Lilith Sansa Betches got one. Yeah. Thank you so much, One-Eyed Flo. Everybody, please give a shout out to One-Eyed Flo for helping the nest to grow. That rhymed, and I love it. Line Song just gifted one Are You Serious membership, and What If received it. Welcome, What If, and thank you, Line Song. How cool is that to have a birthday membership gifted on your birthday? See, it's a good thing you let us know. It's a good thing. Yeah, the Nest is extremely generous with memberships. They really are. It's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, What If got one? Actually, What If yours came from Line Song? Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Grow, Nesties, grow. You got it, Kato. Okay, so criticism can be a valid use of other copyrighted material that you haven't bought a license for. Commenting, okay? News reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Those are examples of activities that may qualify as fair use. The Section 107 calls for consideration of the following 4 factors in evaluating a question of fair use. The resource we're reading from right now is from copyright.gov/fair-use. This is the U.S. Copyright Office's website. Number 1. The purpose and character of the use, including whether the use is of a commercial nature or is for nonprofit educational purposes. These are just factors that are considered when you're in court and the judge is trying to decide whether or not you fall under fair use. So the courts look at how the party claiming fair use is using the work and are more likely to find that nonprofit, educational, and non-commercial uses are fair. So me getting paid for AdSense from using some of Chantal's material, this is commercial use. I am getting paid for this. So that's something that does go against reactors who are monetized. But don't let that stop you from being monetized. Trust me. If you think you're holding a moral ground by not getting monetized, just realize that Google is receiving 100% of your ad revenue when you could be getting 55% of it. Either way, they're running ads on your videos. So, and if you think they need more money, that's fine. I personally, I'd like a little portion of that. This does not mean, however, that all nonprofit education and non-commercial uses are fair. So just because you're nonprofit, just because you're not monetized, doesn't mean you're all set. It doesn't. Courts will balance the purpose and the character of the use against the other factors below. Additionally, transformative uses are more likely to be considered fair. Transformative uses are those that add something new with a further purpose or different character and do not substitute for the original use of the work. So if you are transforming or changing the material in a substantial way, and it's not just about pausing the video and talking for a second and letting it go again and pausing, and you've got to actually transform it to truly be safe. The rule that I like to use, like in my own head, is if you were to put the content that you're using, for example, Chantal's video, if you were to play that video alongside with my video, could they be considered very close to the same content? Like the person who downloaded my video and re-uploaded it, clearly the same to the second. Literally nothing was changed. You know, that's not fair use. You're just that is stealing content and just trying to get paid for it over there. But if we are having a whole discussion around it, if you're educating your viewers about, like Sansa Cooks is putting out the macros for the nutrition content, you know, showing different recipes and like, this is what she's eating, all that stuff. Oh, Tejancita. Okay, I hope you're feeling better. Education. If you are saying, you know, if you're talking about diabetes and you're discussing it with, you know, with your chat, with everybody about the implications of what she's doing. Okay, you're taking her content and making it something much, much more. Because no one's going to earn anything if they just download and re-upload her content. I mean, let's be real. She's not even getting paid for it. Then, well, she does, but, you know, just saying. The nature of the work. This factor analyzes the degree to which the work was used, relates to copyright's purpose of encouraging creative expression. Thus, using a more creative or imaginative work, such as a novel, movie, or song, is less likely to support a claim of fair use than using a factual work, such as technical article or news item. In addition, use of an unpublished work is less likely to be considered fair. So if this is private content and not published somewhere, and you take it and transform it, it's less likely. If you are taking fictional material, creative, like let's say like Chantal does one of her drawing pictures like through the drive-through and does the voice and everything, that can be pretty difficult to transform that in itself. You can use it as commentary or criticism. So again, we're talking about all four factors. It doesn't have to meet each one exactly. Amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. So like she was saying, there is no set time limit. If you use 10 seconds, if you use an hour, it's not about that. It's a much more broader look at it. Under this factor, courts look at both the quantity and the quality of the copyrighted material that was used. If the use includes a large portion of the copyrighted work, fair use is less likely to be found. Less likely. It's not an automatic, not fair use. If the use employs only a small amount of copyrighted material, fair use is more likely. That said, some courts have found use of an entire work to be fair under certain circumstances. And in other contexts, using even a small amount of a copyrighted work was determined not to be fair because the selection was an important part or the heart of the work. Number 4, the last factor. The effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. And this is where Chantal is doing her whining. This is where she's whining. You're taking all my views. You're affecting my revenue. Here, the courts review whether and to what extent the unlicensed use harms the existing or future market for the copyright owner's original work. This is also why I don't show channels that are friends of mine, or channels in general, other than the girls. This is why I don't, like, some people will want to watch like a premiere of something over here, and I get that, and I would love to do that with you, but it does take away views from the other channel. Chantal is right about that. It absolutely does. If we've all watched it together over here, you're not going to go over there and watch it again. So it does take revenue away from that channel. That's why I don't do that here. Just because I wouldn't want it done to me necessarily. If you have a channel with 50,000 subscribers and they have a chat of 10,000 and they all just watched your video, they're not coming over to watch it again. And you just lost 10,000 views potentially. So in assessing this factor, the courts consider whether the use is hurting the current market for the original work, which is they're not going to go over and watch it because they already did, or whether the use could cause substantial harm if it were to become widespread. Okay. I mean, all right. So in addition, other factors can be considered in weighing a fair use question depending on the circumstances. Courts evaluate fair use claims on a case-by-case basis, and the outcome of any given case depends on a fact-specific inquiry. This means that there is no formula to ensure that a predetermined percentage or amount of a work or a specific number of words, lines, pages, copies may be used without permission. There's no formula. It's all considered on a case-by-case basis. That's fair use, Chantal. Those are the 4 factors of fair use. So, I've got a good summary here, and I'll also put a link. There is a list. Schooled her, yeah, right. There is a list of court cases that you can go through that are specifically fair use, and will tell you the ruling on it, and you can go and read a summary of the case. So it gives you kind of an idea of what the courts consider to be fair use and not. And some of them went to the Supreme Court. It begs the question, says Dirt Merchant, if all the reactors, commentators, and clippers stopped focusing on Chantal, would they watch her channel instead? I have found that yes, that is the case. Because when the BBJ incident went down and people said, when she got Julia, that's what it was. When she got Julia, and everyone was just livid, myself included, and saying, just, we're not watching her, boycott her channel, nobody watch. So reactors weren't really doing as much content on her, but Chantal's views went up. I tracked it. Her views went up. So they will watch her regardless. So we are legitimately taking views away from her. She is right about that. And people say that they wouldn't, but they also said that during the boycott. But her views went up a lot. They did. I mean, the behavior and what you think you might do might be different. Yeah. In summary, although courts will balance all 4 factors, the fair use defense is most likely to apply when the infringing use involves criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research. And here are some general rules that can be helpful. And I'm getting this off of a different website, so I took it down. This was linked on the U.S. copyrights. Oh, it might have been linked from YouTube. Digital Media Law Project. Digital Media Law Project. And they say some general rules of thumb. A use that transforms the original work in some way, transformative, has to be transformative, is more likely to be a fair use. Non-profit use is more likely to be considered a fair use than for-profit. A shorter excerpt is more likely to be fair use than a long one. And a use that cannot act as a replacement for the original work is more likely to be a fair use than one can serve as a replacement. Rules of thumb. Oh, this is interesting. Copyright is a tool to silence criticism. Oh, wow. Oh my God, I did not, let me put this up on the screen. I did not even see this. That's weird. I didn't even see it until, I swear. You're going to be like, yeah, right, I didn't. I didn't even see this. I just kind of scrolled down. Interesting. Okay. Copyright is a tool to silence criticism. Sometimes copyright owners try to use copyright law as a weapon to squelch speech that is critical of them or their works of authorship. For example, in Savage versus CAIR or CARE, is the Council on American Islamic Relations. A conservative radio host has filed a copyright infringement lawsuit against CARE, Council on American Islamic Relations, for using excerpts of his radio show in order to criticize his rabidly anti-Muslim views and to call for sponsors to withdraw their support from his program. CARE's use of these audio excerpts and similar uses of copyrighted material in order to criticize a copyright owner are almost certainly protected by fair use. So argued, asking the court to dismiss Savage's lawsuit because this, it must have been Michael Savage. Radio show. Oh, wow, that's Michael Savage. Okay. So Michael Savage sued CARE because they used some of his content from his radio show to show that he's promoting bad things against Muslims. The fair use doctrine. So this is what they wrote to dismiss the lawsuit. Who's EFF? Oh, we should pull up we should pull it up. And it was dismissed. Okay, we'll go look at that in a second. Interesting. Okay, so they asked for the lawsuit to be dismissed, and this is how they did it. The Electronic Frontier Foundation? Oh, okay. Interesting. Thank you. The fair use doctrine exists precisely to prevent copyright holders from doing what Savage attempts here, abusing a limited monopoly granted to encourage creativity, to punish dissenters, and to chill speech aimed at criticizing copyrighted works. So Chantal being criticized, that's mostly the reason she wants us to take. If we weren't bullying her, she probably wouldn't mind. If we made videos calling her beautiful, intelligent, and look at her handsome husband, she probably wouldn't have any problem with that at all. Like none. So they're asking the court to punish. Oh, wait. First Amendment. Savage asks this court to punish CARE for publicly criticizing the offensive content of his radio program. That CARE's criticism might result in Savage losing popularity and advertisers is of no moment to either a free speech or copyright infringement analysis, and indeed should be expected in the marketplace of ideas that the First Amendment and Copyright Act strongly protect. And it was dismissed. So here are some tips for creators. Some tips on avoiding copyright liability. How to not get your videos taken down. Use only as much as necessary to accomplish your purpose or convey your message. Use your work in such a way that it is clear that your purpose is commentary, news reporting, or criticism. Add something new or beneficial. Don't just copy it, improve it. We do improve it, we do. If your source is nonfiction, like Chantal, limit your copying to the facts and data, and seek out Creative Commons or freely licensed works when such substitutions can be made. Like if you're using music, for example, try to find Creative Commons or non-copyright music. But in this case, it's a little bit different. And we got BB True gifting a membership. Oh my goodness. Thank you, BB True. Thank you. Woohoo! Thank you so much, BB True, for gifting a membership to Christy. And Christy received it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And just another reminder, if you are fairly new to the nest, I am Muslim myself, and we don't talk about haram and halal. There aren't many things that are categorized as either halal or haram. So people can say, not everything is haram. Not everything is halal. Sometimes there is no ruling on these things. Mukbangs are not haram inherently. I looked it up. I did look it up. So think about just in your own religion, if you're Christian, let's say, and I understand atheists might not be able to relate to this much, but if you're Christian and someone asks you, because there isn't really a forbidden and allowed, is this good or evil? It's like it's black and white, and not many things are like that. Not many things. So the mukbang is not haram inherently. So all the things she does is haram is not valid at all. And I don't like that kind of hyperbole, where everything is halal or everything is haram, because I'm Muslim myself and we live in a real world here, I understand you want to, stick it to Chantal, but you are kind of also, other Muslims are seeing this as well, including myself. So, the nesties are growing. Yes, they are, for sure. Yeah. Okay, that is actually going to do it for me for right now. I do have some stuff to take care of today, but I will be back to host the AYS Bird Beauty Pageant this evening. Mayfei, I'm actually not going to answer that. I'm sorry. If you know I don't like the question, why are you asking? Is the feeder request halal? There's no, you would have to talk, I don't make religious rulings. So, that's not up to me to do. It's not up to me to say whether or not it is or isn't. That person, they will have to answer for whatever they're doing. Chantal will, we all will. It's not up to me to say, who's sinning and who isn't, So, kids are saying things are haram. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little overused here, I think, in this community. Because, she does plenty of things that are truly horrific, talking about eating a mass quantity of food. I mean, she's killing herself. Do you really have to put haram on top of that? Who cares? Hey, Fatty Da Fed. Okay, so I would say about 9 p.m. Eastern time this evening, we will have the beauty pageant, and I will put up a watch page in a couple of hours or so when I have a better idea of exactly what time we will be doing that. Okay, all right, everyone. I will talk to you soon. Have a great day. All right, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Alright guys, see you soon and goodbye.
Thank you.